ended up leaving that job, and I was looking for another job. I just happened to be, job hunting one day. I ran into a restaurant and just happened to see Ali Sayed. And Ali Sayed, he told me, have you went to Hype?
I graduated college with a degree in criminal justice. So I was working in juvenile corrections for a number of years. And then I heard about this center opening up in Wayne County. And it gave me an opportunity to transition from working with troubled youth to youth who were in a good place.
When it was being built when I was 7 years old, I was first introduced to it by my dad, and we came here.
Since I was young, like a little kid, I always just come to Hype, associate myself with Hype, play in all the different leagues and activities they've had.
I actually live down the street from Hype, so every time I pass by, I would see them building this place, and once I found out it was going to be a recreation center, that's why I got interested, because I love to play basketball.
I come here every day, almost every day, play, work out, just meet people, and have a good time.
We have over 50 kids every day in our tutoring and education programs. We mentor up to 25 youth at a time, and we do many substance abuse prevention programs and life skill programs throughout the school year at local schools.
I actually came in with quite a few problems, at home, with school, and I started to come here every day and surround myself with the people here at Hype, and it seemed like everything in my life started going uphill.
I think Hype Athletics definitely stands for unity. I think it stands for acceptance. You have people from different races, different religions, socioeconomic backgrounds, and they're all here because they're engaged in their children. They're invested in the youth, but they're also invested in the community. And when you say community, it really is as a whole. And I think Hype Athletics embodies community as a whole.
I was born in Dearborn in 1981, and we lived originally in the south end of Dearborn, which is lower income, poverty-stricken community. That's where most of the immigrants came from overseas, was to the south end of Dearborn. And the reason why my family moved there first was that my dad applied for work in one of the big three, and he actually landed a job with General Motors at the time. And I vividly remember my childhood, living and growing up in the house, a two-family home with a pear tree in the backyard. The American dream is real. It really is. It's not something that they promote as an easy come and take what you want, what you will, and what you can. It's not like that. The American dream is founded on hard work, on persistency and determination. It's built on the ability to dream and to have no limit to that dream, and to be able to pursue your goals without any discrimination, without any inequalities in life or injustice towards your business. The American dream, to me, is real. I would not have this opportunity in many Middle Eastern countries, and I'm Middle Eastern, but this government has proven more than one time to me personally that it supports, and it supports indiscriminately, and it trusts before it does not trust, if that makes sense. My dad is part of the American dream. There's no factories in Lebanon at the time. There was a civil war. To have an opportunity to come here as an immigrant and to be received and accepted as part of society with challenges, of course, challenges like any other part of this country or world would experience. But to be a part of society and to be able to grow and to raise a family and be a part of the educational system, this is the American dream. And we're specifically talking about success of life. We're not talking about government or government policies or international policies or anything like that, or healthcare or anything like that. When I first moved into where my parents still reside today in East Dearborn, I had noticed that, a lot of white families were moving away, whether it was to the west end of Dearborn or whether it was to another city, all in all. But I definitely observed that. I lived 1 block away from Detroit, and we would see the black kids initially, and this is at my youngest of ages when I'm able to run out in the streets and play basketball or soccer at the park, that we would see the black kids and be alarmed at first, until they asked if they can play. And we said, yeah, you can play. So we played with them. We would play football, we would play baseball, we would play basketball, we would play cops and robbers. Not to be funny, but we did play cops and robbers. We would always fight on who would be the robbers, by the way. That's what I was going to get to. But these kids, did we fight with them? Absolutely, but we were kids fighting about stupid things. It wasn't racially based. I know it wasn't. It was stupid. Did we end up becoming friends and remain friends? Absolutely. And that has opened my eyes to the black community of the United States, that they are good, and the perception that's relayed about them is not real. They are good people, and there are a lot of good people. Their upbringing has more challenges than the immigrant communities of Arab descent.
Hype has helped me throughout my life in becoming a man and a mentor. So not only do I come as a job, I come in as a community leader, because a lot of these kids look up to me. They look at me as a brother, an older brother kind of figure, as a mentor, because some of these guys have it a little bit harder. So if it wasn't for us, we don't really know where these children would be. So I'm actually very happy to have this job. So I know that these kids are safe here. This center acts as a safe haven environment for these kids, and we actually help them in their everyday life struggles.
When I was a little kid, when I was 7, I was never able to even score a point in basketball. And now, through the hard work here and the help of people that work here, I am not very good, but I'm a pretty good player. I can score.
Hype has helped me in many ways. I've become a great basketball player from Hype because of all the training I've done here. I've become a better student in the class. I've become a better person on and off the court and in school and out of school as well.
Hype has helped me professionally and grow as a person. I'm able to work with a multitude of different types of people. I've learned a lot about different cultures. I have also grown professionally. Before I was kind of always working for people per se, or just following the lead. Hype allows you to be a leader and make your own decisions and come up with programs and test them out. If they work, great. If they don't, let's try something else. So it really helps you figure out what works and what doesn't, and what needs best, how to serve the community. Our whole goal is to serve the community and create a safe environment. And our CEO and Hype as a whole allows you to do that on your own terms.
Being in here, it helped me, be welcome to different religions, cultures. I've learned a few languages being here. So it's really helped me to know more about other people and what they've been through and what they are going through right now, and see a whole new light of things. Hype has helped me to become a better person by teaching me how to communicate with people better. I wasn't very, out there, but now since working with kids, adults, my peers, it's really helped me to, be able to communicate with people.
Hype helped me out in a few ways. I can easily say before Hype, I wasn't motivated to get up, I wasn't motivated to get out and try and do something for myself. I surrounded myself with successful people that I actually look up to, and I try to follow their footsteps and try to follow their work ethics, so that hopefully one day I can be successful as well. It's helped me with numerous things in school. I got the help I needed with schoolwork, with getting enrolled in college, with finishing off my high school. you know, and it's helped me in the professional, in a professional way where I come in and I can sit down, speak professional to people, and do problem-solving situations on an everyday basis. And you know, I'm very grateful for the ethics and the morals I've learned from Hype. You know, and I carry that stuff with me every single day of my life.
So, feels amazing, feels great. Honestly, I feel blessed to have an opportunity to be and to have an impact on a lot of kids' lives, a lot of family members from within the community that I know are in need of this type of an environment. I feel that it's this life's rewards, and God willing in the next as well. You know, it's a wonderful feeling to be able to look at the accomplishment of the day. And come back here at the end of hours when we're closed down, you know, have your chance to shoot and have your chance to have a little bit of fun. You know, I gotta keep my shot going so I can compete against these young kids and they don't make me look bad on the court. What's great about basketball and really any other sport is it doesn't matter if you're tall or short, rich or poor. As long as you and I are on the same team, we have the same accomplishment, same goal, and that's to win. So together we have to work to accomplish that goal. And most importantly, you're going to break down barriers. Barriers in this concept would be the barriers that come naturally through diversity, through different ethnicities and religions, and even to the extent of socioeconomic backgrounds. Doesn't matter, as long as you and I are on the same team. There's one goal, and that's to win. Being an Arab American and playing basketball is a blessing. It's given myself and a lot of other Arab Americans in this community a chance to integrate into society through sports. It's given the Arab American community a chance to build relationships with a lot of professional athletes and really giving them an understanding on how, you know, we can grow as a community. When I started Hype, the business idea came to me in high school. There was a 3-on-3 basketball program that used to travel the country, and they were called Gus Macker. And we played in Gus Macker. I played in Gus Macker my 10th grade year, my 11th grade year. And then my 11th grade year, there was a big fight that occurred between the older groups, over 18. And they fought, and the cops were called. And the schools that were provided to Gus Macker denied them from entering back into the school district, and the police department didn't want them because they said it was too violent and whatnot. So I really enjoyed the Gus Macker. I have trophies that I won, and you know, it was fun. So when I graduated high school, it was always on my mind. They left us in Dearborn. You know, this was fun. I want to do it again. I don't want to have to travel, you know, an hour away to go play 3-on-3 basketball. So when I was 19 years old, you know, I pondered that idea for a good year and a half, and thought about how and what and can I even do it. I pulled the trigger and I did it. I sat down in a room with a group of my buddies in my living room, and you know, I told them I want to have a basketball tournament. I need all you guys' help, and we're going to make it cool. And the mission is going to be a drug-free, violent-free, and diverse athletic environment that promoted all the things that we talked about: acceptance, tolerance, unity. And I recall going to the mayor of Dearborn's office and knocking on his door, not even making an appointment. I was 19 years old, and I had another buddy of mine with me, Colin Wilkinson, and we knocked on his door and told him what we want to do. We want to have a 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the city of Dearborn. 2 little young kids, Today I know I don't even ever have to talk to the mayor, but then it's what I thought I had to do. So I went there, and he fully supported it. The name stuck, Hype. That was the first name I came up with, Hype. I wanted it Hype, and it's Hype Athletics. And to this day, that's what it is. That's what the brand is. That's what we're recognized from and by as a provider of basketball tournaments. I have a lot of mentors that have helped me throughout the way, and one gave me the advice of, don't let great get in the way of good. In everything you do in this business, develop a national model. Let it be replicated. Let it be viewed as unique and successful and sustainable. I took that advice to heart, and I developed a business model in 2006 to build a recreation center. And I brought together a large amount of people and sold them the business model and requested investments. For the city of Detroit, unfortunately, and like many cities across this country, with the tanking of the real estate market, both commercial and residential, a lot of people, a lot of homes, a lot of people lost value, which means losing value is taxable value. And the amount of tax revenue that cities would generate during a very long period of time was extremely low and lower. So the first things that were hurt, not only were the police and safety and security, but was recreation. Security is more important than recreation. So, for example, in our neighboring city, Detroit, they have over 30 to 40 different recreation centers. I believe it's around 30 that are closed down completely, boarded up, unmaintained, and probably at this point in a worse condition than they can ever be in. Knowing that there was a need for youth, family, and recreation and health services in this region, again, through compiling our assessments and our evaluations of the needs of this region, we created the model to build this center. And the model, what's unique about this model is that we were able to develop programs and services around the entire family. Literally, mom or dad can exercise or be a part of a fitness program or group, and son or daughter have an opportunity to participate in a supervised, structured, very beneficial to many areas and many ways of life type of a program or service.
Some of the most inspiring things I went through at Hype was, first, how fast the building was built, how everyone came together from the community and put their time and effort together to put this building up. This is a 104,000 square foot building, and it went up in about 9 months. I was here day and night up till 3, 4 a.m. with various other workers who had no business of being here. We just wanted to put this building up, and the way that everybody developed together and clicked together and defeated the odds, because not everybody seen us to succeed. And the way we succeeded, and nobody, not even myself, believed that this place can go up this fast, and we put it up and we're running better than everyone.
I mean, there's been several inspirational stories through Hype Athletics. I think one of the best things is knowing that we have members here that have lost weight, for instance. They've reached their health-related goals. You have youth who may have come into Hype Athletics, maybe entered in one of the athletic programs, and now they're successful, aspiring young adults, or they're even adults themselves. They're 20, 21, and you look back 10 years ago, and they were a youth that was troubled. They lacked guidance, and through structured athletics or through structured counseling, they've been able to excel in their schooling and in their personal life. And I think that's just a fantastic story.
We have a little boy named Michael. He's 12 years old, and he's in our reading program upstairs. And when he first came to us, he was at a first grade reading level. So he was in 6th grade, but reading like a 6-year-old. And his teachers always were trying to get him to improve, but he never had much success in the school setting. So he came to our after-school sessions and was able to get much more one-on-one instruction. And a story which is cool is that he actually went back after a couple of months working with us, and he had to pick out a book for a book report from the library, and his teacher told him to go put it back. You know, you're not at that reading level yet. And he was like, no, I can read this book. And she's like, Michael, I know you can't read this book. You're at a 1st grade level. This is a 6th grade book. And he goes, watch me. And he opened up the first page and read it flawlessly. So the teacher was shocked, and she's like, what? How did you improve so quickly? And he's like, HYPE, the staff at HYPE. And she really didn't know much about HYPE, but she, called us and got information on what Michael was doing. And now she currently refers other students to us as well. So that's kind of an inspirational story, and it makes us feel good that we're able to help even just one kid.
Every day I come here, it's definitely an inspiration. It's an inspiration to see the people here, the people I see on an everyday basis. There's a few occasions where I've seen HYPE go the extra mile to help out other people, just like myself. There's actually a coworker of ours who actually had quite a few struggles. She came here just volunteering her time on an everyday basis, and we all work together here to try and comfort her, to give her a better place for her and her children. She went from barely living to, I see HYPE help her put a roof over her head, and hopefully soon she's going to be driving a car. It's a really big help. It's a really big inspiration for me to see this, to see the way it's changed, other people's lives other than myself. It's a cause that I really believe in.
Very important after a long day of work to get into the gym or to exercise. Frees your mind off a lot of the stress and a lot of the obligations that you're typically committed to on a daily basis. I encourage exercise and nutrition and diet for everybody. It's really a life changer. It's a lifestyle, and the rewards, the feeling you get from that are just immeasurable. As important as worship is in our life, exercising, being healthy, taking care of our health, and preventing our body to, from deteriorating or having any types of diseases or, any type of negativities to blood pressure and heart disease and, obesity and diabetes. Exercise is as important to our faith as is worship. I've had the opportunity to cater to over 150,000 kids that I personally have seen and been a part of their lives. The center is now surpassing that annually. There's many stories that I can share with you regarding individuals and individual family members. And I can tell you that it starts off in this area, like any other area in the world, that the number of divorced families is on a rise. Single-parent households, there's no discrimination to it. It doesn't only affect Arabs or blacks or whites or low income or high income. It is something that affects the neighborhood, the school, the city, the region in many ways. So states have developed juvenile courts, counties have developed juvenile justice departments and juvenile courts. Why? Because these kids are, the risk factors of them becoming adjudicated or entering into the court system because of action or a decision that they've made in life, such as smoking cigarettes at a young age, or marijuana, or drinking alcohol, or skipping school, or getting into fights, or being bullied or bullying. There's so many at-risk factors, and these at-risk factors are also indiscriminate. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, tall or short, you know, fat or skinny. It doesn't matter, white or black. It doesn't matter what religion you come from. These risk factors are what we targeted and what we went after. And there's been numerous families that I've been able to have the pleasure to raise and to see grow, and to experience their children enter college, and to have, you know, a lifestyle that's relieved from having to, you know, have that fear of their child committing a violent or criminal behavior-based act. There was a single parent, for example, and I don't want to say any names, whose husband left her, no money, no income, 9-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old child. They moved in with a family member, and the family member provided them with 1 bedroom for the whole family to sleep and live in, which is probably all they can do. The mom was receiving aid from the state, financial aid, financial assistance, food stamps for their kids and whatnot, medical support for their kids. And recently the state of Michigan passed a bill that said that they are limiting the number of years that anyone could receive cash assistance. So they want to encourage these people to not become reliant on state aid and to actually try to, you know, secure their lifestyle, to get a job and to actually do something for themselves. The mom was required to volunteer 20 hours a week in order to maintain state aid. The 20 hours of volunteer were provided to her, but she had a 1.5-year-old child, so it was kind of hard. So what we did was we allowed her to volunteer with her child in our daycare room, and she volunteered for, you know, she basically met her requirements through the state, and we verified on her behalf. The state, in the middle of December, just of 2014, cut her off completely from state aid, financial assistance. She was able to retain the food stamps and all of that stuff, but the financial assistance helped pay the bills of the house that she was living in. So utilities and water and things like that, and obviously it helped with other things. Lady doesn't have a car, doesn't have a home, so we had an opportunity to do good. And obviously, with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we were able to even have this conversation. So our work is always it's always directed. You know, there's reason and purpose behind it. Although we're a non-religious, non-racial based organization, for us, for me personally, it's driven. There's a purpose and a goal. So the lady was offered a part-time job. We were able to help her get very low income support for childcare to put her 1.5-year-old child in there. And she's working, and her kids are a part of our programs. Her kids have never gone to the museum, have never gone to a sporting event. Her kids have never lived in a home with just them. So her husband has been back and forth, ex-husband, on the run, out of the country and whatnot for 9 years, and her oldest son is about that age. So, you know, taking the kid to a Detroit Pistons game was spectacular. You know, giving them an opportunity we found a house for them, we raised money for them, we furnished the home for them. We did a lot of those things for this family, and it's gratifying. It's really something that, you know, you can't really explain in words, because, you know, you see the lady come into work with a huge smile on her face, like, I'm going to do anything I can to help this place because it's the place that helped me, you know. And seeing her kids, you know, who can recite the Quran like in Arabic with a beautiful voice, you know, seeing her kids happy, seeing her kids, you know, well fed, and all those things are just one of many examples that we have. You know, there's a lot of situations with the Arab and Black communities where they don't want to be at home. Mom and dad fight too much, it's boring, you know, they don't have electricity, they don't have hot water, they don't have food. right? There's a lot of situations. So we've had many encounters with many kids of all races and you know, ethnic backgrounds where, you know, they don't want to be at home. It's 9:30 p.m. We close at 10, and you got school tomorrow. What are you still doing here? You got to get going. You know, this is where they want to be, and this is the environment we've created for them. And it's an environment that allows them to grow. It allows them to play, allows them to develop socially and mentally and cognitively, and you know, all but spiritually, really, socially, and you know, emotionally. And this is something that, you know, we pride ourselves on, that we've been able to successfully maintain that offering for these kids and the families. And I tell you that I can tell you stories upon stories on how kids benefit, and I'm sure you'll be able to walk around and gather that information and insight on your own. And you know, you'll hear kids say nothing but, "I love Hype. I love this place."
Because I am Hype. Hype is everyone. So when I hear Hype, people think my name. I'm here all the time. I spend most of my hours here every single day. It's for the community. I want to be a figure in this community where everybody looks up to me, and eventually where everyone can come up to me with regards and issues. I love Hype because it puts a smile on my face. I love Hype because it's who I am.
I love Hype because it's just a great place for me to come to eat after school, on the weekend, in the morning, any time of the day. It's just great to come to, play basketball and do different things.
It has different people, of course, me as a black man, and other people, Arabs, white, or Caucasian people. You know, it's very diverse, and that's what I love about this place. It welcomes everybody.
You always want to come back to Hype. You always want to associate yourself with everyone here. They're all great people here, and that's why I love it.
I love Hype because of the people. You know, I love these people. They're like family right now.
There's not one reason why I love Hype. I could easily say there's a million reasons I love Hype. It's a great place for the children. I started off as a young child. I was in actually the 4th grade when I started, you know, associating with this program. And I've had all different types of leaders there to guide me the way in life. You know, opening up different doors, opening up different paths, and it's a great thing for the youth to have that option. You know, it's a luxury. It's a privilege for these kids to come in here and be associated with such a great thing.
I love Hype for the people that come here and for the people that I work with, plain and simple. It's a community. Hype, I guess you could call it a family.
My faith plays a huge role in what I do on a daily basis. You know, I thank my parents every day for raising me and for teaching me the values of our culture and our religion. I thank my parents every day for, you know, teaching me that spirituality is between you and God only, not to judge and to love. And that the practice of the religion is your behavior, your ethics, and your morals, your character, and your integrity. And it is my makeup today. The reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reliance on the belief in the structure that you know, my Muslim upbringing has exposed me to plays a huge role in what I do in my day-to-day operations. And along the lines also with my staff. You know, not all are Muslim, but know that I'm God-fearing and that I trust and that I'm honest and that I never, you know, would never do anything to harm anybody nor any community member. And we've received a great deal of support because those characteristics are visible. They're open, and a lot of our community members realize that, you know, both Arab and non-Arab, and Muslim and non-Muslim, they recognize that, they support that, and it plays a big role, really does. I would not be here without God.